Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sirinda Rajawong from Lopanya Municipal School under the royal patronage of Her Royal Highness Princess Pecharadda Jasuda Sirisopha Pannavadi. Today, I would like to present my speech about my king. When I was younger, I always saw my parents pay respect to the picture of the king every night before going to bed. They told me to respect him, but I wonder why. A man they hadn't met or talked to personally before. I never had either. Why? I asked myself many times, wishing that one day I would understand. Very easily, I got my own answer on the 13th of October 2016. All the TV channels broadcasted the death of Thailand's king. Reporters had interviewed many people that attended the events. I could still remember the interview from a young lady. The young lady cried and spoke with tears. That King Bhumibol was not only the king of Thailand, he was also the great father and the great grandfather of our nation, who did only good things for his children. She was in deep sorrow as if she lost someone in her own family. Thai people loved him not only as a king, nor a living god, but as their father. The king had worked hard for his 65 million people. He couldn't just take a one-day break. He thought that every day he worked and visited his people, they would get greater happiness. The young lady seemed to provide me with the answer that I had a question about. Then I really realized why Thai people show their respect to their king. It is because of the way King Bhumibol had helped his people for 70 years. He had dedicated his life to his people without thinking about himself. King Bhumibol could be compared to the light in the darkness for Thai people. He was the only hope that we have when there seem to be no solutions to the problem that happen in our country. And so, as you may have heard, His Majesty was the one who began many projects for Thailand. I'm sure that all of you already know most of them. For example, the artificial rain project is one of the main projects. I can say that this is the most useful project for the drought areas of Thailand. Well, what can we do with the lands with no water, no plants, nothing? So, His Majesty helped this land to be reborn. He used his wisdom in science to make useless land into productive lands, so his people could have their livelihoods again. However, I still wonder, did all this thing he had done for his people make him happy too? I didn't know. I tried to say yes, because His Majesty the King had never shown that he had been tired of his duties in the midst of his people, and that was true. I found the same word that he had mentioned. My real place in this world was to be among my people. Those were whole Thai here. Now, do I understand how much all Thai people praise him? I can say that no other leader in the world has told me the meaning of a king more clearly than him. It's not easy to be king actually, to make all people in your country believe in you, to praise you, to trust you. But there's one man who can do it well, always very well. King Bhumibol, the great, the king of kings, who is always in Thai people's hearts, and he will be an everlasting light with eternal love. At the final moment, all Thai people and I love to express some words in our memory of King Bhumibol. You have always been. You've been a father to us all. Our strength, our loving King. We know you care and understand. You catch us when we fall, always quick to lend a hand. As the children, we rejoice to our wise and loving voice. Thank you for your attention.